Hey there, kids, and welcome to your favorite show, Making Science Class Bearable. Today, we are going to be discussing space and
the Big Bang!
This photo was used as an image and a background. We do not own the rights to it.
let's get started with some lessons from our expert astronomers,
Starla,
who will talk about the Big Bang,
Joshmos,
who will talk about redshift,
and Spacetine.
and who will talk about Hubble's law.
Sponsored by the American Albino Space Bear Association, the first place to put bears in space.
I love space.
We do not own the rights to this photo. AKA the polar bear background.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the universe. The universe is all existing space and matter. So everything from the ground to the trees to the food that you eat to the clothes that you wear, it's all part of the universe. So about 13.81 billion years ago, the universe was created. It started out as this hot, really dense bubble called a singularity. Suddenly, this singularity started to quickly expand into what we now know as our universe. It gradually got cooler and cooler as stars and galaxies started to form. In this experiment we're about to show you, the washcloth represents the universe. Before we put it in the water, it's like the singularity, very dense and compact. But as we put it in the warm water, it slowly starts to expand and becomes what we now know as a washcloth.
In order to make the idea of the Big Bang a little bit easier, here's an experiment for you guys to try. So the things that you will need are a small folded up washcloth. You can find these at the dollar store. And then also a large tub of water or anything that you think could fit it, and it must be filled with warm water. Now all you need to do is drop the washcloth in the water and watch the magic.
The washcloth expands like the universe.
We do not own the rights to SpongeBob.
Hello kids, my name is Spacetine, and today we are going to learn about Edwin Hubble, and we've been discussing a big bubble. Thank you, Starla, for that information. Now, Mr. Hubble was a brilliant astronomer. In fact, the Hubble telescope in space today is named after him. Anyways, let's talk about Edwin's accomplishments. Through his studies of the stars above us, he discovered two things. These two things make up a scientifically accepted law called Hubble's law. The first part of Hubble's law states that the universe is constantly expanding. This means that the universe has been having a constant growth spurt that has lasted for all of eternity, and it will steadily continue forever. The second part states that stars and galaxies, the homes of stars and planets, are constantly moving away from each other. It's like the stars and galaxies are on two different trains going separate ways. Scientists today know that this is true because they measure the distance between objects like stars and galaxies, and they see that they are constantly changing. This is supported by a thing called redshift. You can see how Hubble's laws work for yourself by doing this simple experiment. You will need any kind of soup that you want. A thicker soup is recommended because it will show the effects easier. 2 pieces of any snack food, I use cheese popcorn, and a regular sized plastic plate. To conduct this experiment, first you'll need to spoon a small amount of soup onto the plate. Then, place your 2 pieces of popcorn or any other snack near the center but not right next to each other. Kind of like this. In order to show that stars and galaxies, the popcorn, move away from each other as time goes on, you will need to spoon a large amount of soup between the pieces, like so. In order to show the expansion of our universe, you will have to press the added soup down to show that as the universe stays constant, things are still moving. Continue this process until the pieces of popcorn, or stars, are very far apart. This should show how over time and as years are added to our universe, stars move away.
Thank you, Spacetine. Now let's talk about redshift. You might be thinking, what the heck does that mean? And I shall tell you. Basically, redshift happens as the stars are moving away from us. As they get further and further away, the light that we get from them appears to be red. If they were to be moving towards us, they would appear blue. But they don't.
But they don't.
So this proves that the stars are getting further away from us and that the universe continues to expand today. By using telescopes, scientists have proven that the stars are getting further away from us and that the universe is continuing to expand today.
Redshift can be thought of in another way, like the classic game Warmer or Colder, in which an object is selected by another person, and when you get closer to it, they say warmer, but when you get further away from it, they say colder. If red is associated with warmer and blue is associated with colder, then it perfectly shows redshift because red means closer, blue means further away.
Scientifically, these theories depend on and prove each other.
Well, that's all for today, kids. Your knowledge of space is as expansive as the universe.